Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am with one more Winnie the Pooh movie review, with a review for Winnie the Pooh film from 2011. So, yeah, to this day I still kind of wonder why they just ended up calling this film Winnie the Pooh. Because since there's all these Winnie the Pooh films out there, and they're just none of them were just called Winnie the Pooh. They gave them other titles, not just Winnie the Pooh. I mean, even the films that do have Winnie the Pooh in the title, they at least have more in their name than just Winnie the Pooh. Of course, there's the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. There was Winnie the Pooh Seasons of Giving. There was Winnie the Pooh Very Merry Pooh Year. There was a Winnie the Pooh Springtime with Her. Yeah, there's been a lot of Winnie the Pooh films that do have Winnie the Pooh in the title, but there's more than just that. And even the other Winnie the Pooh films have different titles than just Winnie the Pooh, like the ones I've already gone over with the Tigger movie and Piglet's Big Movie and Pooh's Heffalump movie and Pooh's Grand Adventure: The Search for Christopher Robin. Yeah, and all those films. So yeah, I did wonder why they just ended up calling this film Winnie the Pooh, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I guess since none of the other films were just called Winnie the Pooh, they felt that they could use it. So yeah, they just gave it to this film, even though I still wonder why they did it. Yeah, but yeah, this is a pretty good film overall. I mean, yeah, this film this film is trying to kind of recreate the same style that the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh did, but they do it kind of differently because, well, in the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, there was several different stories in that film. It was combining those three featurettes that Walt Disney had worked on with Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, and Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2. Yeah, it was just really combining all those stories into a full-length feature film. And with this film, does kind of do the same thing, where it's kind of putting stories together. But while in the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh with several stories, this is really just features two stories in it. So yeah, I mean, I watched the Sasha Critics at Disney Summer Review for this film, and he was saying that when this film ended, he was just surprised that it was so short, and it only did feature two stories. And yeah, so was I. I mean, this is a really short film. I mean, by the time this film cuts to credits, it hasn't even gone on for an hour. I mean, it was only 53 minutes before it actually did cut to credits. So yeah, film was under an hour long, not counting the credits. So yeah, it is a relatively short movie. So yeah, I question why they actually did release this film theatrically, since it was so short. I mean, I would have figured that they would have actually put this film directly out to video since it's so short. But yes, they surprisingly still did release it in theaters. So yeah, kind of surprised to see that. I mean, usually films this short really don't get a theatrical release, but yeah, this film did. Yeah, and so yeah, the two stories that this film has is there's this story with a Eeyore losing his tail, and Pooh and the others are just trying to find a new tail for Eeyore, and the other story is just basically the the same type of story that was in Pooh's Great Adventure, where Pooh and the others think that Christopher Robin was kidnapped by a monster after they misread a note. So yeah, they kind of just reused a story that they already had used before in a Winnie the Pooh film. And yeah, those are the only two stories that this film really does have. So yeah, it's just really surprising. I mean, since this film, I was just saying, this does seem to want to recreate the same feel that the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh did. Why did they just include two stories? I mean, and since considering that this film was so short, I thought that they probably could have actually added another story into it to just make it a little bit longer. I mean, they could have added in another story to this film and kind of make it around the same time a lot of other Winnie the Pooh films are. So yeah, and so yeah, this film only does feature two stories, and it's this film, it only lasts less than an hour. So yeah, but yeah, the two stories that this film does have, they are still told really good, and this is a good film. I mean, And yeah, I really do like. There are like some funny moments in this movie, and and yeah, it is just like a funny way that they like the characters like end up thinking that Christopher Robin was kidnapped by a monster, or just from like misreading a note, just like how it was in Pooh's Grand Adventure. But yeah, the way that they like mistake it is just like really funny. So yeah, then we have like some other like funny jokes like this, and of course like in the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh, there are like a lot of fourth wall jokes with the narrator, and in this film, like John Cleese is the narrator. So yeah, I really do like admire it for like trying to like not really like make it like a full remake of the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh, but just like give a different film with kind of like a try to give it like the a similar feel as the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh. So yeah, I do like that it like really does that, since like a lot of the other Winnie the Pooh films really didn't do that. I mean, the other ones I've already gone over really haven't done that, and uh, and so yeah, and even like there's only been like a few other like Winnie the Pooh films, and even like TV Winnie the Pooh shows that have like kind of like had fourth wall moments with the narrator and stuff, kind of like or even just like give a like a similar feel that the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh did have. So yeah, I do like that this film actually does try to do that. And yeah, so of course like in this film, like this film really does have like a really different cast from like the other Winnie the Pooh films. I mean, you still do have Jim Cummings voicing both Pooh and Tigger, but yeah, everybody else has been like recast and they're voiced by different people. Like in this film, you have Travis Oates as the voice of Piglet. You have Bud Lucky voicing Eeyore. Kristen Anderson Lopez as Kango. Wyatt Hall as Roo. Tom Kenny as Rabbit. Craig Ferguson as Owl, and Jack Bolter, I think that's how it's said, as Christopher Robin. So yeah, yeah. So you do have like a really a very different voice cast in this movie. Yeah, Jim Cummings is the only reprising actor in this film. So yeah, and when I like found out that there was like a different voice cast for this film, I actually did have some concerns because I just felt that with all these different cast members, I was like really concerned that really like it was they were just gonna sound like completely different, and that was really like just gonna kind of just like be something that I didn't. They were just like I wasn't gonna really like how they sounded, and so yeah, after I did watch. I finally watched this film, and when I finally listened to all these new voices, I really actually didn't think that they were that bad. I mean, yeah, some of them do like sound different. I mean, Piglet does sound like his voice does seem like a little bit higher pitch in this one than it was when like John Fiedler was voicing Piglet. But I mean, it really wasn't that bad. And Bud Lucky as Eeyore, I mean, he really doesn't sound like that different. I mean, no, Eeyore's voice in this film does like sound a little bit higher as well, but I mean, it still really does sound like kind of like low and gloomy and stuff. So yeah, I really didn't have a problem with Eeyore. The one that I really did like really have a concern with how it would sound was Tom Kenny as Rabbit, because of course Tom Kenny was the voice of SpongeBob. So yeah, I was like really concerned that I was just gonna be hearing like SpongeBob's voice whenever Rabbit spoke in this film. But yeah, luckily, like it really didn't really sound that bad. I mean, yeah, there are times when I did kind of like hear like a little bit of SpongeBob's voice when Rabbit would speak, but at the same time, like it really doesn't sound like that different from like when Ken San some voiced Rabbit, and even like before Ken San some voiced Rabbit, when like there were other actors voicing Rabbit, like in many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and even like in like stuff before Ken San, some actually took the role of voicing Rabbit. So, well, yeah. So, yeah, I didn't really think that Tom Kenny really did sound like that bad as Rabbit. I mean, yeah, it really wasn't something where I was just like hearing SpongeBob all the time. So yeah, Tom Kenny did good at really kind of disguising it voice, so he really didn't sound as like SpongeBob. And yeah, it was funny. It's funny how like some people have actually said that with this movie featuring Jim Cummings and Tom Kenny, he providing voices in this. Some people have said like called this a cat dog reunion because yeah, in like the show Cat Dog, Jim Cummings voiced cat and Tom Kenny voiced dog. So yeah, some people have kind of like called this a cat dog reunion. So yeah, and Craig Ferguson as Owl, well, he does actually sound pretty different. I mean, it's still like Al still does have the same personality. I mean, yeah, I mean Al does sound different in here, but I mean, yeah, Al still does like it still does get like the mannerisms down and stuff, and really like does have the same personality. It's not like Al just has a different voice and a different personality altogether. I mean, he does sound different, but his personality is still pretty much the same. So yeah, the voices I really didn't think really are that bad. I mean, while the voices definitely are different, they really don't sound very bad. And also in this film, something that I kind of like didn't like about it was that they like gave Christopher Robin more humanized eyes rather than the dot eyes that he had before, and I just really didn't like that. I mean, I really like and pretty much like every other Winnie the Pooh project before this, whether it was film or in TV, they did always give Christopher Robin the dot eyes like all the other characters. But for some reason, they ended up like giving him humanized eyes in this, which I really didn't like. And plus, they also changed Christopher Robin's outfit, so rather than wearing like the yellow or the white shirt with the blue shorts. Instead, they like gave Christopher Robin kind of like a more like a formal type of outfit, which I really didn't like. I mean, I really did prefer like the classic outfit that Christopher Robin had always worn in like the previous Winnie the Pooh films and TV shows. So yeah, that's something I didn't like about it. But the film overall, it is like still good. I mean, while it does really only it does basically just have two stories in it, the stories are still like told really well. I mean, I really would have liked to seen it kind of like have really include more stories in it, but so it could have been longer. But yeah, for what they did do with this, I mean, and since they really did try to give it like the feel of the Winnie the Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, even though it was like shorter and just a couple of stories, it still was told pretty good overall. So yeah, not a great film, but a good film. So yeah, I would give this film probably 3.25 stars out of 4. I mean, yeah, it is. So yeah, I really do think that while it is like definitely like a very short film, I still really do think that since it does like try to give the feel of the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh, I really would probably like give it like a higher rating than I have like the other Winnie the Pooh films I've already gone over. So yeah, that's really like one, just basically like the reason why I do think it is like just since it does have try to give it that feel, I like give it a higher rating. So yeah. Alright, so yeah, let me just get right into the plot of this film. I mean, since it is like a pretty short film, I'm probably just going to be able to skim right through this as quick as possible. Or like really quick. So yeah. So as the film opens up, it opens up in a similar way that the Mighty Adventures of Winnie the Pooh did, just like zooming into like a live action room of Christopher Robin and the narrator giving like that opening narration. And like it opens up, a Winnie the Pooh book opens up and it has like a similar like opening like the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh did, where it like shows a map of the 100 Acre Wood and has that same song, Winnie the Pooh song, and it just like is introducing all the characters, and then it shows that Pooh wakes up one morning and it just showed that he was out of honey. So as Pooh went to look for some more honey, he then like ran into Eeyore, and then he discovered that Eeyore had lost his tail, and so then Pooh went to Owl about it, and so then, yeah, they then came up with the idea to like have a search for Eeyore's tail or find him a new one, and then there would be a reward for whoever found a new tail for Eeyore, and so then yeah, Pooh, Piglet, Rabbit, Owl, Kanga, and Roo, who, along with a Tigger, while he was like, well, yeah, Tigger was like out like bouncing, of course, and everyone else, like, along with Christopher Robin, were like trying to find like a replacement tail for Eeyore, or with the prize being a fresh pot of honey. So of course, like Pooh wanted to find the right tail for Eeyore, and yeah, they were just like trying a bunch of different objects to have as Eeyore's new tail. There was like Pooh used his cuckoo clock, and there was like a yo-yo, and yeah, there were just like a bunch of different things that they were trying to use for Eeyore's new tail, but none of them worked. Yeah, and then yeah, Kanga then like tried to use a scarf, which seemed to be a good choice, but then like it ended up unraveling. So yeah, that failed too. And so then, yeah, the next day, as Pooh went to go visit Christopher Robin, Pooh then like found a note on Christopher Robin's doorstep that said, that a gone out busy back soon, and yeah, it was kind of like spelled improperly, And so, yeah, Pooh then, like, couldn't read the note, and so then he took it to Owl's, and then, yeah, Owl, of course, like, had some poor reading skills as well, and so then had, like, he made it out to be, like, as if Christopher Robin was in trouble and he was kidnapped by a monster called the Baxen. So, yeah, it was basically just, like, the same way that they thought Christopher Robin was at a skull in Pooh's Grand Adventure, just because Owl misread the note, yeah. Yeah, and so then, yeah, Rabbit then ended up like planning a trap to try to kidnap, well, capture the Baxter and free Christopher Robin. And then so yeah, they were then just like creating a bunch of traps to try to capture the Baxter, and then yeah, Tigger was also like trying to like train Eeyore to be a second Tigger, and as he was like trying to teach Eeyore how to fight against the Baxen, Eeyore eventually ended up escaping, and then he ended up like falling underwater where Eeyore ended up like finding an anchor. And meanwhile, as Pooh was like trying to get more honey as well, he then was like trying to use Piglet kind of as bait for a beehive. And then uh, it was just like a failed attempt to get honey, and then like as this just film progressed and Pooh didn't have honey, he was just like getting hungrier throughout, and then yeah, Pooh then eventually like ended up like falling into a pit that was meant as a trap for the Baxen, and then yeah, Rabbit, Kangaroo, Owl, and Piglet then like saw Pooh in the ditch, and they tried to get him out, but then yeah, Eeyore then like used that anchor to try to like replace his tail, and yeah, they were trying to get Pooh out, but all of them fell into the pit too, except for Piglet. And then yeah, Piglet then was like trying to get everyone out of the trap, and yeah, Piglet was just trying some like really like bad ideas to try to get everyone out, and so then as a then they sent a Piglet off to Christopher Robins to get a jump rope. And as Piglet went through the woods, and he ended up like running into a Tigger who was like dressed as a the Baxen, and yeah, Piglet then ended up like escaping through a red balloon that like Pooh and the others just found as like another helping hand and stuff, and yeah, and it was also like another thing that they were trying to use as a replacement tail for Eeyore. And then yeah, as Piglet was like floating away on the balloon, like some of the letters in the book like ended up like falling into the pit as well, and so then yeah, Tigger and Piglet ended up like falling into the pit as well. And then yeah, then as Tigger was like just questioning Eeyore about being another Tigger, Eeyore just reminded Tigger that he's the only one, and that's the wonderful thing about Tiggers. Yeah. And then yeah, Pooh ended up like creating a ladder out of the fallen letters, and they were able to climb out of the pit. And then they like eventually they found Christopher Robin, and they were like telling him about the accent that they thought had captured him. And then yeah, Christopher Robin then just like clarified that the his note actually read that he'd be back soon since he had gone to school. And then yeah, Christopher Robin like was carrying that red balloon with him, and since like the red balloon who like had they felt that the red balloon had brought them Christopher Robin, they ended up by giving the honey pot prize to the balloon, which of course was to Pooh's dismay. And then later on, Pooh visited Owl again, and then he discovered that Owl was actually using Eeyore's tail as a doorbell ringer, and yeah, like Owl just like didn't realize that it was Eeyore's tail. And then yeah, Pooh then ended up returning Eeyore's tail to him. And then yeah, Christopher Robin then ended up rewarding Pooh finding Eeyore's tail with a really big pot of honey. And then yeah, it then just ended with Christopher Robin and Pooh talking again, and yeah, Christopher Robin just saying "silly old bear," and then yeah, the book then closed, and then yeah, the credits rolled. But then yeah, after the credits, then it was like revealed that the Baxen was like actually like was a real monster, but it was shown that the Baxen was like actually a gentle monster and real friendly. And then like he then like saw the Tigger's costume was like leading a trail, and like eventually like the trail ended up like leading to the pit, and yeah, the backs ended up like falling into the pit, and he then just decided to wait for someone to help him out in hopes he will be back soon. And yeah, then yeah, just then stopped after that. So yeah, like I said, 3.25 stars out of 4. I mean, it is a really short film, but yeah, I do like that they did try to like recreate the feel of the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh. But it was just like a couple of stories. I mean, if they actually would have actually made this like a feature length film and actually like given it another story or two, it probably could have been maybe like I don't really want to say like as good as the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh, but it probably could have like been like would have been looked at as a better film. And yeah, I probably could have actually given it a higher rating. But since like it is like a really short film. I just like really just can give it like a 3.25 out of 4 due to like what it did do and what it was able to do. So yeah, still is a good film. So I mean, not a great one, but a good one. I mean, like I've said before, I mean, if you are a fan of Winnie the Pooh, you'll enjoy this film. So yeah, I do recommend this film for Winnie the Pooh fans. All right, so yeah, that does it for. So I guess that's all I really have to say about it. Alright, so yeah, this does it for my review of the Winnie the Pooh film from 2011. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And so yeah, this is it for my Winnie the Pooh movie reviews. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy these reviews. Yeah, I'm really hoping that like Nostalgia Credit, because he's done like Disney summer reviews for the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh and this 2011 Winnie the Pooh film. I'm really hoping that he'll go over some more in like this upcoming Disney December he does, because yeah, he said that this upcoming Disney December will be a all by popular demand for like movies that he's been requested for. So yeah, I really do hope that he does go over like some of these other like Winnie the Pooh films that I've already reviewed for this here. So yeah, I'm just like hoping that he'll cover these. I mean, since like all these have all been well, not all, but a lot of these were theatrically released Winnie the Pooh films. I really am hoping that he will like go over these films in December sometime. So yeah. So yeah, and as far as like my Christopher Robin video where I'm gonna be talking about the movie when I go see it, I'm not gonna see the movie quite yet. I mean, I did have plans to go see it like this weekend with my brother, but yeah, my brother's like busy right now and he won't be able to go see it until probably next weekend. So yeah, I'm probably gonna actually go see the Christopher Robin movie next weekend, and then I will make the video to give my thoughts on the movie and what I thought about it. So yeah, that's gonna be coming next weekend. So until then, I'm probably just gonna make just other videos until then. So yeah, but yeah, stay tuned for my Christopher Robin thoughts video coming next weekend. So yeah, but so I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.